Welcome back to the Wings versus Rings podcast. Today we're going to be doing our official 2026 NFL mock draft. We're 2 days away. It's incredible. Happy to be here.
Sir.
Can't
Um,
cannot wait. Cannot wait. I hope the Eagles do something that makes me less sad about this AJ Brown stuff.
we're gonna be doing what we would do as a mock draft because a predictive is like we're not Adam Schefter. We're not talking to the GM, so we're trying to put the people we think they're gonna go to the team we think, but also the best players available. So if you don't agree with this, oh well, we'll be right in a year from now. Be like, oh man, we were really in on that Carnell take guy like everyone else. But
Hey,
it's just
everyone
what
loves
we would
Carnell.
do. And we'll just talk about some of our favorite prospects and just hopefully this NFL draft's amazing. This draft class is considered a little bit weaker than usual, but I think it still has some elite top end talent that we should get excited for.
All right, without further ado, the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. I think we all know
Yeah,
where
this
we're
is the
going.
most it's like the most chalk pick of all time or chalkiest. So I'm gonna go with Fernando Mendoza for one.
I think that's just.
Uh,
I think everyone thinks he's going there. I think everyone knows he's going there. And I don't
yeah,
think it's the wrong pick. I think you're quarterback needy. This could be the guy. I don't hate taking the shot here, but I mean, if I was a Raiders fan, I would be a bit upset considering the the number one overall
where
quarterbacks. Yeah, and then comparing them to Fernando. Could be wrong though. He could be him. Who
he
knows?
could be him. I'm not really sold. It's just people are comparing him to like Joe Burrow, like 1 year LSU, Indiana, like just this explosion, a little bit older prospect. He's not Joe Burrow to me. I don't know. People say he might be Kirk Cousins, and it's like, man, 101 for Kirk Cousins. It's tough. I think he's the QB1 in this draft class. I don't know if it's such a wide margin between him and Ty Simpson for Ty Simpson to potentially going in like the third round. It's really tough. I think he's gonna be okay. I'm just not really I'm not in love with him as a prospect. There's no elite traits to me that aren't like off the field or leadership stuff, and that's just hard to quantify.
Uh,
So,
I was literally gonna say that I believe his only elite trait that is on the field is accuracy.
and even then, Ty Simpson is like better or of that caliber. He doesn't have the arm strength Mendoza has or the height per se, but it's just like he's going 101. He's a Raider. That's why we're putting him here. But I'm not in love with this pick at all. Like you were kind of saying, it's just what it's gonna
That
be.
said,
So we have to put it there.
if we go into the more optimistic standpoint of this while we're looking at things through the more excuse me, pessimistic side, I would say that they got to get a guy. They've recycled older quarterbacks and have had a couple misses there too. And bringing in Kirk, maybe like you said, he's getting comped to Kirk Cousins, and I do agree. I'm not really in the boat of wanting to take Kirk Cousins at the 101. That said, if he's got Kirk Cousins like traits, gets to learn from Kirk Cousins before he even gets thrown into things, I think that would
Yeah.
be a better look. Have getting a young quarterback like that who clearly will have a clear head on his shoulders. That's what it seems like at least. Bringing him into Vegas where there could be a lot of distractions. I think he's a good fit for everything off the field. Will he will he
Really carry
will
that
he take that
offense.
QB1 spot? Can he spark the Raiders into actually being something in an already difficult division as is? All right, number 2, the New York Jets on the clock. I I don't know where I stand between taking the surefire thing or this prospect that people believe has barely scratched the surface of what they can be, but I think I lean towards you'd be an idiot not to pick this guy that everybody else is raving about. I think the Jets go Arvell Reese at 2. And I know that we can't, for the sake of this, have two different drafts, but I do want to know, do you agree that that's what they do, or what are you thinking they're doing with
Yeah,
that too?
I think every prospect to an extent this draft besides Love has a flaw, and Arvell Reese is what's his position. That's a tough place to be. But when it comes to somebody else like David Bailey, it's like this guy doesn't have bend. He's just all speed. Like that's you can't teach bend, right? And then you got someone like Ruben Bain who's like elite in all aspects, but his arms are small. Well, you can't teach arm length. You can't teach Arvel Reese the position. He has all the tools. He's just someone who hasn't played a lot of football. That's a tough thing to like get behind. And an even tougher thing is the second overall pick to pick somebody without a position. It was you were saying it reminds you of Trayvon Walker, which is just elite traits. It kind of reminds me of how am I spacing his name? The guy from Clemson, Simpson, was a
Sorry,
Cardinal ninth
not
overall
ringing,
pick.
not really ringing a bell at this present moment. Well, here, let me
Well,
just jump in for a
he was
second.
just a tweener.
So the
It's
reason I
tough to
was
pick.
actually more so comparing it to I was comparing the situations, not necessarily the players. I'm saying that I believe that Jacksonville, the year they took Trayvon Walker over Hutchinson, had just bought into this hype around what a player could be, and that player happens to be Trayvon in this situation, rather than the more sure thing in my book and a more defined, polished player in Hutchinson. Now, I'm not saying that that didn't necessarily pan out or that it went bad. What I am saying is that if I was a Jacksonville fan, would have rather had Hutchinson. And now looking back, I still would have rather had, or would still like right now currently rather have Hutchinson. So I'm
Yeah, I
kind of
think too.
saying that the Jets, like I don't think they'd be wrong for this pick. And I think everybody thinks that this guy scratching the surface can be fantastic. You're saying undefined position. I agree with you, but that said, I just feel like David Bailey's the more complete guy and the more defined, polished player, but he's not like the athlete, I guess, that Arvell Reese is. Not to say that he's a bad one, but the situation just reminds me of that. So will the
Yeah,
Jets look
it's
back on this and be disappointed with their choice? I'm not sure, but I
we'll
think
never
that they
know because
go Arvell Reese at 2.
that's the same conversation with me for like Ruben Bain though. Is like the reason Hutchinson went too is because smaller arms, right? It's like I think Ruben Bain, like everything tells me he's better than David Bailey except for their frames. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's that's kind of tough. And then the person I was thinking of was Isaiah Simmons, not Simpson.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a tweener. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? I don't know. He's an elite athlete. Let's take him high, and it did not pan out. I also feel like him going to the Jets is just talent is everything, but also situation is so important. And him going into a place that just can't develop people like that also might just put a stain on his
So
career. But
again,
either way,
like you said, we're not necessarily we're drafting off of like where they kind of sit. Not that we don't think trades will happen or anything, but where they sit currently, it's kind of like connecting the player to the team or
the
a
team.
positional need even to a team. I kind of hope that the Jets actually don't pick at 2. I don't know how you feel, but I like already how much they have stockpiled for the next 2 years. I would like to add more of it, get talent in, but not reach on talent. So that would close out my Jets take. But for the sake of the mock draft, we got Mendoza at 1, Reese at 2, and the Cardinals are on the clock.
Yeah, see, this is where I really think the first trade happens to the draft. Are you okay if we want to do
Yeah,
trades or no?
absolutely.
Because
I'm just trying to connect the teams. I don't know if the Jets are going to trade down. I honestly haven't heard anything or seen anything that would suggest that. I just kind of like if I wish that they would. For how much they need, I wish they would. But yeah, absolutely.
I,
I see the Cardinals moving down here is very
this is my
potential.
first. My either someone wants to jump the Titans for Jeremiah Love, or they want to go and get David Bailey, or potentially even Sonny Styles if they think that's gonna go. Like there's a lot of elite potential talent here, and the Cardinals aren't really in the business for any of these people. They want Francis Mauigoa. They want offensive line, in my opinion. And I think they want to take honestly Ty Simpson later in this draft. I don't know when, but I feel like between Jacoby Brissett, holding out for a bigger contract and just the kind of player Ty Simpson is, he just feels like he's going to be a Cardinal to me. Maybe in the second or third round, but I feel like this is a prime trade out spot. And I think I want a team trading up to jump the Titans for Jeremiah Love. And that team that I will choose,
Seen a
I'm
lot of.
honestly thinking Giants or just to one spot jump the Titans, Giants or Minnesota. Those are the teams I
I
think
would
would trade
love
up.
to see Minnesota go and get him. I just don't think that they have the ammunition to do so.
Yeah, it's kind of in the
And
same boat I'm in.
we were going to get there, but it looks like we're already there. The Giants recently picked up another first round pick, trading sexy Dexter Lawrence over to Cincinnati, and I think that it is a criminal overpayment on behalf of the Bengals. That said, I don't know if I'll ever be able to be proven right because the type of player that we're talking about an interior defensive lineman. Statistically, it'll be hard to prove that I'm wrong. But yeah, in this situation, I don't hate it. You acquire that 10th pick, you ship off a older defensive, an aging defensive player who is not coming off his best season, that is for sure. And you add such a great talent like Jeremiah Love. I love the pick, love the player, loves in his name. It just works.
Do you think now? Okay, now that we've jumped the Titans, I did it with the intention of Jeremiah Love. But do you think Carnell Tate's an option here? Do you think that's in play for the Giants?
Is it an
I'm
option?
thinking Love,
Yes,
but
but I only see them connected with Tyson. And if in this situation they're moving up 2 spots, we probably should have been more clear. We had them
yeah,
swap
they
the
jumped
fifth.
one
Yeah, they
to
jumped the
third.
Titans. They moved from 5, which was their original pick, to 3. Cardinals moved down to 5, and they still retain the 10th overall pick. In this situation, I think Jeremiah Love can be the only option, and I think maybe they
He
look
jumped
receiver at
defensive.
10, but we'll get there. Depends on who's on the board. I would hope they go defense if I was a fan of the team, but really I'm the opposite of a fan of this team, so this would scare me. This would haunt me. Would not like it at all. And with what's on the
Tough.
board now at 4, puts me in a tough spot because I was totally ready to have Jeremiah Love go here.
Yeah, because he's just been going there all the time. That's why I think the team would jump. I don't think the Cardinals want to pick at 3. I think that's where the first trade happens of the draft. Someone's gonna jump the Titans, or the Titans are gonna pay a little bit to go up one spot.
I just haven't
I
really
think this
considered this
happens.
this situation, and with that, I'm thinking Carnell Tate here sounds really good. I know that
Crack some weapons.
I know there's a lot to do, but the whole idea about Jeremiah Love would have been to get help for Cam Ward, find out if you got that real QB1. I'll be honest, of this podcast, I'm probably the Cam Ward guy. I like him. I believe in him. You got to see if he's the guy. Give me Carnell Tate at 4. Did not expect that to be
That
what I had coming in here.
I like that, and it might not help your quarterback as much as a run game will, but it'll be what they were working with last year. That's a substantial upgrade, even if some people don't think that Carnate has any elite traits whatsoever, and that he was a gold ball merchant or this and third. I don't necessarily agree. I think he is in kind of the same boat as Mendoza for me, where it's like for him to be the clear cut wide receiver one and him being a top 5 pick, it feels a little weaker than in previous years because this was Jamar Chase 5 years ago. This was Marvin Harrison a year or two ago. This was Aroma Dunza. He doesn't feel in that same vein as me, but that
This
might
whole
just be
draft
because he was
isn't
wide
though.
receiver 2 on his own team, and that's true. But it's tough for me to see him translate into a wide receiver 1 on a team when I don't feel like he has like super elite route running, even though that's his claim to fame, and also he was a wide receiver 2. Like he didn't. Jeremiah Smith is the truth, and he
We
was
agree
playing
that
next to
he's
him.
next year.
Yeah. All right, the Cardinals up at 5. I would have liked them to go a little bit farther down before they take this guy, Francis Mauigoa, but this just feels like their guy. They got their trade down, got a little bit extra, and I think they're going to try to get their bookend tackles with him and Paris Johnson, and potentially take Ty Simpson later in the draft. I don't think he'll be taken in the first round unless we love Mar Jackson this, but I'm definitely leaning Francis Mauigoa to the Cardinals at 5. The Browns are on the clock.
He's the right call. They definitely need offensive line help. Originally, my idea would have been Carnell Tate here. That's where I kind of think he lands on draft night. That said,
I agree.
with the way things have fallen, and this might be a crazy sentiment, but I think drafting David Bailey and Miles Garrett being traded is a likely scenario if it were to fall this way.
Whoa, I didn't even think about that. I
They
know they
already
restructured his
reworked,
contract.
yeah, they already reworked his contract, made it much easier for him to be traded. So you replace him with a flexible contract, young talent in David Bailey. Not saying that he is Miles Garrett by any means. That said, you fill the position in a sense, and you're going to get assets on the back end from Miles' trade. So actually, before we finalize this, Bailey or Bain here, because I am kind of I'm in the realm with you of thinking that Bailey's not the better player. It's really Bane. Bailey's got all the athletic traits that make you like him a bit more. The frame.
That first step in the speed,
Ooh,
that's
I
really his
like
claim to
Bane Jr. a
fame.
lot. Ruben Bane Jr. is who I think is the better player. But if the board were to fall this way, I think they'd go David Bailey.
I think so. I think they'd go David Bailey too because he's just considered better. Because it would be an outlier for Ruben Bain to be this elite player. Just arm length wise, it would be an outlier. I still believe in him more than I believe in David Bailey, but it would be like there's no precedent. There's no
Do you want to
person you could
extend
point to
what
to
you
say
mean
the
by
worst out.
believing? Sorry, I know I just
Like
completely
in
talked
Ruben
over your
Bain,
point. But
and what I mean by Ruben Bain,
well,
I
you
think
more
he's
so
got.
said you don't believe in David Bailey. I just didn't know if you wanted to walk that back a little.
I don't. I really don't know if I do. His speed, his first step, it's elite. It's to me, it's like Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson obviously has turned out to be a good player, but look where he went in the draft, right? He went towards 24, not sixth. I know we shouldn't be comparing necessarily draft to draft. All that should matter is this year, but he does not have bend, at least to the level that you would want at this like stage. Like Ruben Bain is significantly more bend. Ruben Bain is significantly better in the run game. Ruben Bain can set an edge. David Bailey has just he has production in a weaker conference and he has an elite first step, but he doesn't have necessarily the moves to couple with that first step. Whereas Ruben Bain has this complete package. He has counters. You know what I
I,
mean?
I don't disagree
David
with that.
Bailey's just get him on a runway, get him at the quarterback, and I like those guys because they could be Von Miller, except for Von Miller had elite bend. You know what I mean? Like that kind of comes with the territory to me. Like if you're this super fast guy, like Chop Robinson, elite bend. Michael Parsons, elite bend. I don't see that in David Bailey.
Nonetheless, we're gonna have
That's
the
just my
Browns
opinion.
pick them at 6, and at 7, Washington will be on the clock. Seen a lot of mocks having Love
And
actually fall here.
I've seen that too. I like that. I
Then
would
again,
like
I
this
feel
love
like I've seen
there.
it mocked all the way through 9.
I would
Like
like
this,
Jordan Tyson here. I don't know if him and JD were teammates at any point in Arizona State. I don't think they were. I think Jordan Tyson played at Colorado before joining Arizona State, but it could be an interesting pairing. I do think though that they actually go defense here because they've just been loading up on that side of the ball as they should. And there's no like Ty Simpson or Jordan Tyson is like really interesting, but there's question marks with him where I feel like these defensive players that are still available are significantly better. They've addressed edge in my opinion. Caleb on Chason, he's a good, decent player, but Odafe Owe, he might actually be something. And they haven't addressed their linebacking core to my knowledge, like at all. And I really love Sonny Styles. I really love Sonny Styles. I think he's going to be a top 3 player in this class. You move like that, 6'5". Your run stuffing ability is a little questionable. You know, you're not necessarily good uh, at reading the trash or whatever they refer to it as. Like just he doesn't have the best vision in run game, but he's an elite coverage linebacker, an elite physicality, elite speed. I'm gonna go Sonny Styles at 7 to the Commanders.
well, I mean, I hate it, which ultimately means that I like it, but I hate it. This is a nightmare scenario as an Eagles fan to watch the Giants in the top 5 get Jeremiah, and then Washington stealing Sonny Styles at 7 hurts my soul. Completely hurts my soul. At 8, I think the Saints have so many needs. Part of me wants to say get a receiver and let my boy Tyler Shuck do his thing. That said, I actually think that this is a spot where I think Ruben Bain could land. This is a spot where I think another offensive lineman could go off the board.
Yeah,
Man, I think
there's a
I lean
lot. The
edge
Saints
here.
need everything. There's a lot they need to do. Edge. I mean, I do like that. I mean, we've been. There's a guy that we think we've both been talking about a lot.
And let's get him off
I
the
think so.
board here at 8. Ruben Bain Jr. to the Saints. They need so much. You got to start
Ruben Baines.
somewhere. This dude is he might be that guy.
That's a prime trade down spot to me too, like potentially because someone might want to jump the Chiefs for them. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
the
that's
Chiefs,
definitely
I
a
think, are
possibility.
also ultimately like okay picking whoever falls to them because Yeah, they'll get the very end of like the elite talent in this draft, but man, they're still gonna get them. And to me, there's two options here for the Saints if Drew Bain's gone. Either A, you give Patrick Mahomes somebody like Jordan Tyson, an elite, outside receiver potentially, just injury questions, or you give him defense. And I feel like their philosophy's been Patrick's got that side of the ball. He can't control defense. He can't control defense, so I'm gonna give them, in my opinion, the best player in this draft. I think it goes Downs, Love, Sonny Styles. I'm going Caleb Downs to the Chiefs at 9. This breaks my heart, but I also want to see this man playing in January, and he's not going to do that on most of these other teams, if not all these other teams in this area. So I'm excited for Caleb Downs to be a Chief, unfortunately, because I want to see him play in the postseason. But the Chiefs just rich get richer.
Well, in this situation, I like that pick a lot. I think you said everything there is to say about Caleb now, so I am gonna just move right along to pick 10. The Giants' second pick of the night, what would have been the Cincinnati Bengals pick. That said, my nightmare draft continues. They get Jeremiah Love at 3, and I think they get Jordan Tyson here. I really do. I think they love this guy.
Uh, yeah, I've seen
I
him a lot there.
it's an impeccably offensive heavy draft already for him, which might surprise people. I think that if there is a defender there still, but because of the way we just had to
Yeah,
break,
where the
there's a run
board
on
fell.
defense, from 6 through 9, and they really like Tyson is all I've been able to hear. So I think it's a solid spot for him to go. It's a cool matchup. I like the pairing of Tyson with Love now, also bringing them both into New York along with Dart and Scat, and of course Malik Neighbors whenever he's healthy. I don't know if he's going to be a go in week 1. I know it's a pretty gruesome injury, but that's a lot of offensive firepower. Brand new head coach. So it's some to get something going, and it scares the hell out of me.
The division could be very tough this year. That wouldn't surprise me. All right, let's before we pick 11, let's get a rundown of the top 10 just to refresh everybody. 1 Mendoza, 2 Arvell Reese, 3 the Giants jumping the Titans for Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate to the Titans at 4, Francis Maui Noah to the Cardinals at 5. The way the board fell, we have the Browns end up taking David Bailey and potentially a Miles Garrett trade coupled with that. Theorizing, just putting stuff out there. Number 7, Washington takes Sonny Styles. I think they want an offensive player. Just Jeremiah Love or Carnell Tate really didn't fall for them, and this feels a little too early for any of the tackles outside of Maui Noah. Number 8, Ruben Bain. Me and we're in on Ruben Bain. Screw the arm length. I think we're both in on Ruben Bain
Yeah,
being at least
definitely.
the second best pass rusher in this draft. Great value at 8 for the Saints. Potentially another trade down spot if someone wants to jump the Chiefs. The Chiefs end up getting Caleb Downs, in my opinion, the first or second best player in this draft. Only question people have is the size because he's not Kyle Hamilton. He's still 6'2". Like it's weird to me, but that's the comparisons he's getting because he's that elite of a prospect. And then number 10, Jordan Tyson, and I think could be an elite player. Only question is his health. Can he stay healthy? But you got to swing for the fences at 10. I like that. Now the Dolphins. Or do you have anything to say about the top 10, or you ready to keep
No, I think you
pushing?
summed that up perfectly. Let's get right to it.
All right. Dolphins at 11. Now, this is tough because they need every single thing ever.
I completely agree.
New GM, new coach, everything. Blow the franchise up. This is not a good team. Uh, Man, this is tough because I think looking at the board, I don't want to give them Makai Lemon because it's just tough when you need everything to take a slot receiver.
Completely agree.
Their interior line needs a lot of help, but I'm gonna go with a position where you have to pay a lot of money. Pretty soon corners are gonna be getting paid $40 million here. It's very valuable to get them on cheap contracts. So I'm going to go Mansour Delane
I
out of
love that.
LSU.
I love that. I think this just fell perfectly for my nightmare to continue, but perfectly.
I like
You want
Mansour
to
Delane.
yeah, I was gonna say you want to summarize this dude as a player.
He's played at LSU, so good competition, elite frame, elite ball skills, everything. He's cornerback one to me
I don't agree.
because there is no question marks in my mind about his play. Jermod McCoy,
That's corner
when
one.
you're getting that he could be corner one to me, but I think he could be the player that falls the most in this draft. Like that's another question I wanted to pose to you. Who do you think going to be like? I'll answer it first, but who do you think is going to be the biggest faller in this draft? And potentially to me,
Not
it's
Jermont.
Jermon
I
McCoy.
have him going next.
Yeah, well, yeah, not in our mock draft, but I'm saying in general in the draft. Uh, Jermon McCoy to me, like when you get comp to Gonzo, I'm kind of in on you immediately. I'm kind of like, all right, I'm liking what I'm hearing, but he has a lot of injury concerns. Didn't play it all last year,
It's
so
Tyson
I
for
could
me.
see a team. I could see a team. Tyson,
Even
yeah,
though I just took him at 10, I know that that is
he could
contradictory, but
fall real far.
it's
Yeah,
more so what I've just heard as far as like the Giants liking him, and we had all the defense go off the board. So I do think that it could have been a trade, another trade down on the Giants' behalf because what they wanted's not there. Go get better value. But I just have seen so much about them loving Tyson and being just in love with that pick in quotes. So I have him there. So he would be mine personally, and not even because I dislike him, but because of everything you're saying about Jermad, but offensively. And I think it is a bigger. Don't get me wrong, it's the same concern, but for some reason I feel like it is a bigger one towards Tyson because Jermad just had this his pro day and he was running some good splits there. So I think that that might erase some of the thoughts. And he was just clearly far and away the best corner the year before in college football.
yeah. He's my corner too, but he where it comes to Delane, where it's like he's good man zone, elite speed, like he has all this, he has all these ball tracking abilities. Jermon McCoy, he is the best man press corner in this draft, and you need to be able to play man press. It's just he kind of gets lost in the zone sometimes. Like of course you can teach that. That's something you can teach. It's just his injuries that kind of scare me, but he is cornerback too for me, just because of the injury, just because there is a
No,
potential for like this
it's
guy not to
definitely
be.
fair. It's definitely fair.
But Cowboys up at 12.
Well, I already told you, I gave it away, but I'm gonna go Jermon McCoy. I just don't think he falls. I don't necessarily know if he ends up a Cowboy. I kind of hope he doesn't because I would actually flop in this scenario. Like instantly on Thursday, I am now McCoy's actually trash. Mansour Delaney's just better. I will swap so fast on my choices here, but no, I really love Jermon McCoy, and I would absolutely hate to see him in a Dallas Cowboy uniform.
The Rams up at 13. Seen a lot. I've seen a lot of Makai Lemon here.
Me too.
And it's, I really like Makai Lemon. I don't like him more than some of the receivers on the board still, just because he's a slot exclusive guy. He doesn't have flexibility. He doesn't have elite speed. He has great hands. He has
Can I
good route running.
can I interject? Because I know that this is
Yeah.
your choice. I'm not saying you have to go him because I really don't mind him being someone who falls a bit further because I don't think he falls a lot farther. But I would say it's kind of the perfect fit. You have two guys that are really great in space, but are natural outside receivers, and then you pair them with a true slot receiver. I think it's kind of the perfect fit. And you give him McVay and a quarterback like Stafford to start his career off. It's great. I know Devontae's not going to be around forever, but as of right now, when you're in this win now mode, I think it's a great pick. I wouldn't hate a trade down either. Is that crazy?
This is where I agree with what you're saying. I think this could be a trade down because I think the Ravens are gonna take. I think the floor for Kenyon Sadiq is 14 at the Ravens, but I am going to go Kenyon Sadiq for the Rams actually,
I like it.
because
Change it up.
Makai Lemon is the slot we're talking about, right? That's what Kenyon Sadiq is as well. He's not an inline tight end per se. He doesn't have the greatest, blocking, but he is the fastest tight end in NFL history, at least when it comes to the combine. A physical freak. He's a power slot. He's in the same vein to me as Colston
Bowers?
Loveland.
Oh, I thought that was going to Bowers.
Bowers is amazing, but he's an inline tight end too. He can. I mean, they
Can
both
I
can do it.
can I
They're
interject
tight
again?
ends. But to me, he's Colston
Disagree.
Loveland. What about Bowers?
About no. About Sadiq not being a good blocking tight end. I
No, I
don't
didn't
think
say
he's
it
a
was a good
great.
blocking tight end. I didn't say that. I was saying he's not an inline tight end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's more of a let's get him in the power slot position. Like he can block. He can block. I mean, he's gonna go against DBs and stuff. But when he has an edge, he can chip him. Yeah, but I'm saying like he's not Gronkowski. He's not Kittle. I know I shouldn't be comparing him to those, but I feel like if you're not one of those guys, you're either a blocking tight end or you're a catching tight end. You don't get to be like both like them, in my mind. and he's more of a pass catching threat, like a Colston Loveland. He can block. It's just that's not the name of his game. He's a power slot, to me. Um, but I also think the Rams have just ran a lot of tight end sets, like multiple tight end sets, and I think that's where they want to continue. To be honest,
Do you think there's anyone
uh,
in love with Makai?
yeah, I think a lot of teams are in love with Makai. I don't know if they're in love with him in the top like 20 picks, but I think everyone would want Makai Lemon. I think he's a great receiver. I'm just talking about like he's a luxury pick for the Rams. He's a luxury pick for everybody. That's really what it
Well, I
comes down
just
to. That's
mean,
why I think he should go farther down.
well,
He's
yeah,
a
well, with
luxury pick.
Sadiq at 13, 14, to me, Lemon doesn't make sense at all with this team.
Yeah,
They
not at
already
all.
have Flowers, so it's not a good fit. So you were already dropping them down more. And then as I continue, I kind of feel the same about him to a lot of these teams. I mean, maybe you like him at Tampa, and I could see it, but I just think Igbuka already, Emeka Igbuka is already kind of a slot guy more than an outside guy.
It's
It's a smaller body, no?
he's like 5'11". That's the reason why I'm like kind of lower on Makai Lemon than I was originally because he doesn't have that versatility. He doesn't have scheme versatility. He doesn't have team versatility. That's why like I think he can go as high as 13, but I, he's more of someone who should be going in the late 20s, 30s to me because I'd like Denzel Boston elite frame. Like at least there's that, right?
Yeah, I
Omar
like
Cooper,
Denzel a lot.
the best receiver after the catch in this draft, right? There's like claims to fame that are more universal for teams and schemes. McCollum is just the
I'm an Omar
probably the
Cooper
best
guy. I'm
slot.
gonna be honest. Might be my
Yeah.
favorite receiver in this draft.
Well, value wise, I really like it. But I was gonna say, Makai Lemon, he's cool. I feel like every team almost has a slot receiver they're okay with though, because it's the easiest position to scheme open. You don't gotta, there's no physicality. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting pressed. Like it's just not something that I'm like too concerned about
All right,
for a
at
lot of these
14,
teams.
I
But
just
Makai
don't.
Lemon's a good receiver.
Yeah, 100%. But at 14, I just don't see Makai being a viable option, not for the Ravens. They tend to be a best pick available kind of team, and you like Monroe Freeling here. I think I'd lean more towards Caleb Lomu as the best tackle, but
Between those two,
hmm,
yeah, I like them. Like I like Freeling, but I think I like Lomu. He has guard flexibility. I think they probably need interior more than tackle. That's what I like where I'm looking at.
you think Freeling's gonna
And I
bounce
think
inside?
Lomo. No, I think Malomo is more likely to
More
bounce inside
likely,
than.
yeah, I tend to agree there, but I think he's a really good swing option either way. So I think with
Yes, for sure.
14, Sadiq not on the board, I definitely lean towards offensive lineman.
Me too.
I think we
Give
go
them more.
Caleb Lomu.
All right, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Versatile. I think there's, to an extent, I think there's like real value in being versatile. Even though we were talking about someone like Arvell Reese not having a defined position, uh, that's not necessarily versatility. Like Lomu has a defined position, but he's versatile. All right. Sorry, I just watched Jalen Brown just punch that in right now. Sorry. Number 15, Buccaneers. I think they go interior lineman here as well. And sorry if I'm butchering your name. Uh, Ola V Vega Ianoa out of Penn State. I know he's a great prospect. It's just one of those names hard to pronounce. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but I'm gonna go interior lineman for the Buccaneers here. I would like to honestly go edge. It just doesn't seem like an edge to worth this pick. And I'm gonna go best player available and pick and fit. And I'm gonna go the Penn State guard. I am Iona. Iona. Jets up at 16.
Jets back on the board in the need everything position. We have him take Reese at the second overall pick. Um, I still think that they need absolutely everything. So it's not
Not
exactly
crazy to
the
say.
easiest. It's not exactly the easiest spot to be in for them. I just don't think Makai Lemon would be a great choice here. You have so many holes on your team. Don't think it's time to address slot receiver. So with that
Am I Kyle
said,
Lemon the person that falls? In
it
our mind?
seems like it.
That said, sorry.
I was gonna say I like Keldrick Folk here. I think he's the next best edge off the board. To be honest with you, I
I
would
hate
like to
that.
see him on the edge in New York. Maybe getting after Drake May twice a year.
All right, let's calm down. Let's calm down. All right, Kendrick Frolic, edge at Auburn. I like that. Big, good run, stopping. He seems like the Aaron Glenn type of guy, which I'm not an Glenn type of guy,
They
so
definitely need some
I would
defensive
love.
help.
Yes, for sure, 1,000,000%. All right, Keldrick Falk, lock it in. Lions. This board fell really well for the Lions, in my opinion, because there's a lot of offensive linemen available, and they need that. Interior, exterior, it don't matter. They need everything. And some people might consider this a reach because I think Spencer Fano is good. I think Monroe Freeland has an elite ceiling. I think Caden Proctor is an elite athlete, not really in on him per se. Blake Miller, I think, is actually going to be a really good right tackle. Just feels like a little higher than he should go. I'm going to go Maxi Ianachor out of Arizona State, though. I think he is the best in terms of production, in terms of potential. And this guy's only been playing football for 3 or 4 years. Like, to me, that might be a negative for some people, but to me, having that elite size, ability, and production already just this short of like into his into his playing career, I really like the potential of this guy. He's 6'6", 3 something, and he played soccer for all his life. In the vein of Joel Embiid, I reeled you in. I got you there. I know I did. I know you're liking this guy a little
I'm
bit more.
sold.
Yeah,
All right.
I really like him at Arizona State, offensive tackle to the Lions.
So I think that with the way the board has fallen, I think the Vikings are in a situation where they do need to replace Hitman Harry and arguably one of the best defensive options available, maybe the best defensive option available here. I'm gonna go Dylan Thieneman. Did I say that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I love this guy. I love this. I think him, but the difference between him and Downs,
Cooper DeJean
it's
better.
not that big of a difference. I think Downs is a better box safety, and I think Dylan Thieneman is a better, over the top safety, a better run fit as well. I really like Thieneman. I think he's gonna be amazing. So I love this pick. I really do. Get another white boy out there in Minnesota too. Give him 22. Continue the legacy.
That would
All
be
right.
nice.
Panthers at 19. Their team kind of needs a lot to me. I like Coker in the slot though out there, so it's like I really don't want to take Makai Lemon, but
I
that
think they
might be the.
protect. I think they would probably go protection here.
I think so too. That's really where I want to go. But also like Omar Cooper, like you get someone after the catch like that, get their DJ Moore replacement.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't hate that, but they did just draft
they
cut.
need edge. Messidor, good. I do like protecting him above all else because if he's your guy, I do like that. And based on the tackles that are left between Freeling, Fano, Proctor, and Blake Miller, I'm gonna go Fano, Spencer Fano out of Utah. I think he's potentially the second best tackle in this draft. He doesn't have that elite athleticism like someone like Max that I took out of Arizona State to the Lions. He doesn't have as much potential, but I think he has a better floor. So I'm gonna go that for the Panthers.
Uh,
Spencer Fano out of Utah.
I've had every choice for like my division minus pick 7, and
That is true.
I feel like I've hit it out of the park for them. Questionable on the Jordan Tyson one, I'll give you that. But I'm gonna have them do it again, and I really don't. I really don't want to. I think they go Akeem Mesidor and get some edge help now. I just think it's what this
Yes.
team needs, and I think it's another great pick. And that would be doubling up on defense. But man, they don't need anything really offensively. I mean, Javante, I think outperformed himself a season ago, and that's not supposed to be a diss. I just mean I think he'll put up similar but lesser statistical value. And then you already have CeeDee Lamb. I think Ferguson's a pretty solid tight end. And of course,
Yeah.
opposite side, George Pickens. So offensively, there's not a ton they really need to, put money into right now or draft picks, some compensation. So picking up another elite defensive talent in this draft, it's just this is my nightmare. This is my nightmare. I hope they don't listen to me and they just draft people I don't know.
That is tough. Akeem Messidor, older prospect, but there's no question in my game. And for me and him, he's a 3 down type of player. Elite off the edge, very powerful, can set an edge, good in the run game. Yes, he's an older prospect. I think he's either 24 or 25. That's a negative for a lot of people. He gets to his second contract. He's 29. I understand. He's a lot more developed physically than all these people we're comparing him to. So is this his closest to his ceiling? I don't know. Cowboys are in a win now mode. This is a good player, and they need him. They need it all. They need it
It's
all
between him
down.
and
They need
Katie
a three down
McDonald.
line. Yeah, and I like this way better. Kaden McDonald, I really like
Just
him, but
because of
he
the
they already
Quinn
have
move,
their
yeah, that's
yeah.
more so why I went on the outside of the D line. But I also thought it would be a really cool combo on the interior line. But that puts us at pick 21 with Pittsburgh on the clock, unless you wanted to do a windup of the last 10 before we go to
Yeah, we'll do a
21.
wind up of the last 10. Then we'll just run it down real quick. So starting at 11, Mansour Delane, cornerback at LSU to the Miami Dolphins. They need everything. Number 12, the Cowboys get my second corner of their draft,
My
your
first.
first corner of this draft, elite physical trait cornerback out of Tennessee, Jermod McCoy. The LA Rams either get, for whatever flavor you want of slot, you can go Makai Lemon here if that's how you prefer it. But we ended up going Kenny Sadiq in this draft. I think he's clear cut tight end one. The next best one should be going in like the fourth round. It's a weak tight end draft class. This guy's elite traits, elite physically. Production needs to be, it's not necessarily there, but it doesn't matter. He's a power slot. Rams want to run a lot of tight ends. He's a Ram. The Ravens kind of didn't. The board didn't really fall that well for the Ravens, and they have to go best player available and interior lineman and Caleb Luma. That's what we have him playing. Even though he's a tackle, we have him playing interior. I think he's going to be a really good player there. The Bucks kind of same boat. Like the best value is the interior line at this point. So they go Ione out of Penn State, offensive guard. We have the Jets take an edge in Keldrick Falk. They need everything. This is a great pick for them, I think. Unfortunately, it would suck as a Patriots fan if he sacks Drake May. It's gonna hurt. We take Maxi Ianachor out of Arizona
I'm not
State,
even gonna try with that name.
the Lions. This is my favorite tackle in this class. Like straight, just value wise, potential. This is my favorite tackle. Going to the Lions at 17.
Keep
Dylan
in mind I'm an
Thieneman to
Eagle.
the.
No, I mean it for real. Like
Keenan
it's who I
Proctor.
actually am. No,
Oh yeah.
surprisingly, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, we'll get it. Okay. Dylan Thieneman getting another white boy in the secondary for the Vikings to carry on the torch. We think this guy's great. This guy's gonna be amazing. I really like him.
And
If
throwing in
Downs
that
was in
great
this
scheme.
class, he'd be. This is one of the best safety classes I can remember in a long time. I love these two guys at the top.
And I have
Panthers
there's
go
another one I like too. Let's throw that out there.
another one. There's Spencer Fanu, tackle out of Utah to the Panthers. Protect Bryson or Bryce Young. See what we got. See if he's the franchise. Feels like we've been asking that for years, but we'll continue to ask that. And then
We're
Cowboys at
figuring it out.
20, taking Akeem Messidor, just getting it's weird, but a veteran like player on their team,
It's
and somebody who's just
consistency.
gonna play all three downs. Yeah, a consistently good player at 20. That's not bad in this class. Not at all.
That
Pittsburgh up
puts
at
Pittsburgh
21.
on the clock for 8 minutes because it's not 10 this year.
That is true. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm
Shaving a
excited for
whole
that.
hour after the draft. Lovely. Um, Pittsburgh at 21. They need quarterback. Not taking one here. They need interior offensive lineman. Kind of took the best 2 to 3 available right before them. They need linebacker. Not a linebacker that I love in this range whatsoever. They need a wide receiver. Makai Lemon could go here. I actually kind of don't hate that.
It's interesting. That's
What,
for
what what
sure.
do you what do you view Michael Pittman as? I mean, that'd be an insane wide receiver upgrade. Aaron Rodgers comes back. Because Michael Pittman, is he a boundary to you, or is he at this point more of a power slot?
Man,
Because obviously we got DK boundary.
neither. I mean, I guess. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, I think if they were to take Makai, that's the best receiving core they've had in a long time. And it gives whoever plays quarterback for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers or not, just a better chance to win a game. So I actually do like it here in this scenario where he does fall and he's at 21, especially because they have gone for either a reach or I feel like they've been relatively
Or
safe with their first
developmental
round
player.
picks. Yeah, like developmental and safe don't necessarily mix, but
Like
it just more so
Brock.
mean like a lineman.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Because I'm thinking that Monroe Freeland and Makai Lemon and Monroe Freeland is like exactly what they took 2 or 3 years ago.
So I like them
Uh,
swinging a little bit here in their first
yeah,
year without Tomlin too, and you get your offensive head coach, if you will.
for sure. Yeah.
This is cool. This is a cool pick.
Is Randall Cobb. All right, we're gonna go McKylum into the Steelers at 21.
All right, 22. I'm gonna phone my friend here, and not for real. I'm just asking you to help me. It's not that I don't know what they need. It's actually that if the board falls this way, I think Omar Cooper would be awesome on their team. I just don't know if it's what they draft because I think protecting Herbert has been the story of every single year. So I think another tackle off the board here, whether it's Freeling or Caden Proctor or even Blake Miller, who I'll just, the Eagles pick next. So I'll say it. I think he's the Eagle. He's gonna be, like you said, a right tackle. I think we're in our last year of Lane Johnson, sadly. So I think we do it. We bite that bullet a year early, let him get a year behind or with. Probably not necessarily going to be a bench player. Probably plays guard for us, but I got too distracted by the Eagles. I want your help
Yeah.
deciding between the offensive tackle or offensive lineman and Omar Cooper Jr.
Okay, so I do think protecting him is the name of the game. Justin Herbert, that is. I don't really like a lot of these guys at guard because they're kind of just like Monroe Freeling, elite athlete. He's a project at tackle. Like I don't. He's not. I think every tackle can play guard, but they might these most him and Caden Proctor might both just be reaches. I'm not in love with that. And Omar Cooper is like, man, he's the flashy pick, man. I love a wide receiver. I love a wide
Just
receiver that can move like him. That's a quarterback and get him the ball. Like,
That's kind of what I'm saying. It's like I feel like it is a fantastic fit, despite the fact that he's not what they need most. I need your help. I'm
I like
calling
him.
on you. I need you to take the 50-50 shot here.
I really like Blake Miller too. I hope he goes to the Patriots, but
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of hope that the
I'm
next
gonna
pick is a receiver.
gonna
Like
go.
so, like my dream scenario in this, hypothetical world would be that we replace what we know is already gone in AJ Brown and Cooper falls one more. But also Cooper's not necessarily the best person to pair up with Devontae Smith, who I would probably comp him to, as far as who his NFL comp is. So I mean, like I said, I'm gonna just rely on you here, and if it's Cooper, it makes life easier
I
for
think I'm
me.
gonna go Cooper. I want this elite run after the catch guy. He's not the best route runner per se, but he's an elite run after catch. And Herbert can get him the ball. They got their route runner in McConkey. They just get this man the ball underneath and he's going.
I think his route running is slept on, but I don't disagree with you that it is probably
There's a reason he's going here.
down
He's
there.
not perfect.
Yeah. All right, 23,
Eagles at
Philly.
23.
Do
It's your
what you
pick. I'm
must.
giving you your team. No, I'm giving you your team. I'm
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, as much as like I said, I would like to see us replace the person we know is gone. So if the board were to fall in this way, because I love Omar Cooper Jr., but do you not agree with me that it's kind of pairing another Devontae Smith-esque receiver with Devontae Smith, or do you not think that that
I
is a good comp?
I
It's
think
okay
that's
to
a
disagree.
luxury pick. He's no, I think he's gonna be a good receiver. He's size wise, not necessarily, but like height wise, he's got Devontae Smith traits. When I think Devontae Smith, I think route runner. When I think Omar Cooper, I think someone who's allergic to being tackled. And that's what comes to my mind. But overall, their skill sets, they're not too far apart. I agree. I mean, obviously Devontae Smith, an elite prospect. You know what I mean? There's a reason that Cooper's kind of fallen a little bit in this draft. But yeah, I like that a
Well,
lot.
I would want to have replaced when I would speak replacement now. I guess I'd be speaking about Denzel Boston, who I do like. Don't get me wrong. But I really
Yeah,
do think that we do go Blake Miller 1 year early on our replacement of Lane, getting him in the building with Lane, on the team with Lane. I think that could be super, super
official.
important for his, development as our future right tackle. I'll be honest, it's not the most fun pick, but sometimes you don't do flashy and it's what works. I think we have gone flashy the past few years. I think now is kind of we're gonna think it's gonna be this type of pick, or we're gonna move up. I really
Build the
can't decide.
trenches.
I thought that we weren't legitimately last time we did the podcast. I'm pretty sure I said I think we sit and pick. We usually move up or down. I really think that this is gonna be a weird year where we do sit and pick in the first round. But I have started to come off that feeling a little bit and think that the Jets at 16 might be a potential spot for us to move up and flip later draft assets to them to take pick 23. That said, we're gonna go Blake Miller here, and Browns now on the clock. I'm thinking they probably get themselves a receiver here. What say you?
I like receiver. It's either that or Monroe Freeland to me. They've been really locked in on Freeland like that. People are saying even at 6 he can go to them.
Then go
I think
ahead
it's wide
and do
receiver.
it.
I think it's wide receiver or Freeland.
Let's
I
go Monroe.
really
I kind of feel it kind of feels disrespectful for him to even be this far, just from all the
yeah,
mocks I've
kind
seen.
of. The Bears at 25. Man, this is not amazing for them if I'm being completely honest. They really don't need any type of weapon. They need all defense. Not a lot of elite level defense left. And this is tough. Probably the toughest draft pick I've had to make so far. I'm between either because Trapio got injured in the end of last season, taking a tackle here, except for the best tackle available is Caden Proctor, and he's the biggest project in this class, and you're gonna need him to start early. That doesn't seem like a good combination. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I like Caden McDonald here a lot. They need a lot of help on defense. Their run defense needs a lot of help, and he's the best D tackle in this draft, hands down. He's just more of a run stuffer than a pass rusher, but he has the potential to maybe have the tools to be a good pass rusher in this league. And that's just where I'm gonna go. I
I
want them
think
to
it's
have
the right
I want
call
them to
with
have
the
a good D
board.
line. Yeah, I just don't like Caden Proctor there because he's gonna need to start early. That's just an awful combination. So I'm gonna go Caden Proctor, or I'm gonna go Caden McDonald. Very similar names. Caden McDonald, D tackle, Ohio State, the Bears. Bills up 26.
This is a rough one for me because I feel like edge is what they've been mocked a lot, along with some receivers doubling down, which I don't think would be a terrible pick at 26 going Denzel Boston. I just don't see it. I don't know why, but I don't. I feel like that to them they did just go acquire the receiver. They're not going to double down on it. Could definitely be wrong, but I kind of see this as a defensive pick. I just feel like
I
it's
hate
too
that.
early for Zion Young, is it not?
It honestly, I feel like this is like the start of his range. I don't feel like it's necessarily too early because I think he is a really good. I think the edges in this class are like they're pretty decent. They're pretty solid. He's got
Or do you think?
amazing power, amazing run stopper.
Hmm,
Like could be their
let's
Bosa
go.
replacement.
Let's go Zion Young.
I like that actually. I feel like not a lot of people give him enough love. I think he is very good. I think he's very good. It sucks he's gonna be in my division, but
Pick 2-7.
pick 2-7. Uh, this to me fell perfectly for the Niners because I've been feels like having a negative lens towards Caden Proctor this entire draft because I keep referring to him as a project, and he's a project, a major project. But you get him behind someone like Trent Williams, who's just like Caden Proctor, huge, an elite athlete. Like, and you got him at least for another year or two. You could sit Proctor. He could be your swing tackle. He could be your guard. It doesn't matter. You got your Trent Williams replacement, an elite athlete in that scheme. Man, this is probably the perfect pick for them.
I definitely do not disagree. Houston Texans on the clock at 28. I lean. I've been leaning offensive line when I do mock drafts with them. It didn't necessarily fall that way. I don't think they necessarily are going to need any defense. So, man, this board really fell an interesting way here.
I agree
What
more.
what if this is where Ty Simpsons gets his 5th year option? You know?
Either someone trades up or you're saying they draft him.
No, God, the Texans aren't draft. I know. I know how bad Stroud just looked in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not that. I don't think I'm that
Delusional.
crazy. I'm not willing to be that crazy.
I don't hate that. I mean, Ty Simpson to me can go as late as like 3 or 4, but I think he can go as early as this because I do think I kind of believe in
Let's
Ty
do it.
Simpson a little bit.
I don't know
Just a little
where,
bit.
but I think they might. So let's have Well, I'll have the Cardinals come up trading with the Texans. The board didn't necessarily fall their way for an offensive lineman. They trade down, definitely pick up what they get the second round pick right for day two because it's
Yeah,
relatively high. I
it's
think they
like
start
six
the
picks
day
difference. Probably that and like a fifth
and
or
some late
something.
round compensation.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like a fifth. Going up 6 spots for a fifth, not bad. And the Texans kind of just get to punt the board a little bit. It didn't fall that well for them. So you want Tyson's in here, right? That's what we just traded
Yep.
up.
Get that fifth
Cardinals
year
are
off.
they're our trading team in this draft, huh? Okay, a little movement. They do have a lot of free like they're a team that has a lot of holes, but it feels like they have like a lot of freedom as well. Like whereas opposed to the Jets, who are like in the same boat as me, but they feel like they have more freedom than the Jets do for some to do what they want, just move around.
And now
I don't
pick
know if there's so many
29,
good points here. Yeah, but
Kansas City.
pick 29. Go ahead, or whatever whatever it's called now. Stadium. All right, so we have them taking downs with their first overall, like with their first pick. Man, there's a lot they need too. This is really tough. Downs.
Now, what if in this situation
I
Denzel
think they need
Boston
an
goes here?
edge.
Now, I definitely agree that edge is something that they want to pick up in this draft. TJ
There's an
Parker
elite
is
player
someone I
too.
could
Yeah, that's what
see,
I'm looking at.
but it's more like it's just more like I
Best
feel
player
like I see
available.
the receiver too.
Yeah, I think Parker. I think if I had to do like a big board, I think Parker would be above Casey Concepcion for me or Boston. I think Parker is like their I huge edge, great run setter. He's in the same vein as Karlaftis. Think about a few years ago. I guess almost 5 years ago now, 4 years ago. You know, just a huge body edge out there with some pass rush production. I'm gonna go T.J. Parker out of Clemson to the Chiefs.
Not bad at all. All right, so then that puts me back on the board with the Dolphins. Really, they could just shoot blind here and hit on something they'll need. I actually
Yep.
think who do we have them take first?
Let him
Apologize.
take. I want to say Mansour Land.
That
Yeah,
was what it
Mansour
was. It
Land.
was corner first time around. So back on the clock, and of course it's corners that I think are probably still what's best available. This would have been another good trade down option.
Also, another place where a wide receiver can go. Yeah, for sure. For sure, they need that. So,
Man,
like another trade down
you're
option. I
not
like that too.
wrong. It just sucks to see. It would suck to see either of these receivers go to Miami.
Go there. Yeah, and also they'd be taking like the fifth or sixth receiver so far. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of low. You know what I mean? At 30, I don't want the fifth or
But I
sixth
can't
of anybody.
necessarily like see the scenario where someone's trying to trade in here if I already
Yeah.
had the Cardinals doing it 2 picks prior. So all that said, I guess
Do
give
you like
me.
menu? Could
I do
just wants to
like
trade
him, but I just don't know if people would trade up for an extra year of
for
him.
safety. Yeah, true. True, true, true.
I like Denzel Boston more than I like Concepcion, so I'd go Denzel.
Me too.
Denzel.
I also think Casey Concepcion is kind of like that exact Miami receiver for like the last 5 years, where it's like I feel like they want to get away from that. They want the more rugged, big body people in there. They don't want the over the top speed guys anymore. They're kind of. I think Dolphins fans are as sick of it as I am. Crazily enough. All right, so the Pats are up here. Uh, They kind of need a lot too. I know it's a team that just went to the Super Bowl, but they have a lot of holes, quite a bit of holes. Casey Concepcion, he's just Kyle Williams to me in a lot of ways. It's just two of the same people. Maybe Concepcion's better, but I'd rather have 80% of a player and not have to use a first round pick on him. Colton Hood's cool. I think our corner room's kind of solidified for a little bit. Colton Hood, he's elite. He doesn't have elite speed or athleticism per se, but he's explosive, at least in like the short term. Like his 10-yard splits are awesome. That's really all you probably need as a football player. Like how often are you actually running 40 yards? And he's elite in the zone.
How often are you
I
actually running 40 yards? Yeah, as we go on, the board gets a lot tougher.
Yeah, I don't really love a lot of these. Like, if I'm between Malachi Lawrence at a UCF as the edge, who's just this physical freak, but not necessarily a lot of production, so it'd be a little bit of a reach, but I like it.
Pick 31
I like
feels like the
Emmanuel
spot for that.
Pregnon at a guard. Yeah, it does feel like the spot. Guard, I like Pregnon at Oregon. I like Keelan Rutledge at Georgia Tech.
Those both feel
Those are
like
both
options
cool.
for your
Yes.
team in specific too.
And then CJ Allen is who I'm really looking at because I think we need linebacker. We let two of our starting linebackers walk out the door this year.
You're obviously going to be more
And
tapped in than I am. You're the Pats fan. But if I had to say it from an outsider's perspective, I would want to see why we just lost the Super Bowl get addressed in the first round.
offensive line.
That's what
Yeah.
I would say.
I just don't like I would love offensive linemen here, but it's like seven of them went. Like I was just saying with the receiver, like do I want the eighth offensive lineman in this draft class that I don't think is particularly strong? I don't know. Because Blake Miller would be like, I'd love it. I'd love a Blake Miller fill here. Like the right tackle, just secure it. Because I do think Will Campbell, at least for this next year, is our left tackle. And I'm still a believer in Will Campbell. I think he played on a torn MCL the last month in the playoffs, and that's the reason why his production went from, a top 15 tackle in the league to the worst tackle in the league. But could be coping too. Could be coping straight up. I'm gonna go interior linebacker though. I'm either gonna go CJ Allen or Jacob Rodriguez at the Texas Tech. CJ Allen's more of the stereotypical linebacker, elite college. So he played hard team, played an elite level conference, I should say. And then Texas Tech, Jacob Rodriguez was like the most productive linebacker in the nation. Just
In the nation.
in the nation. He just played in a weaker conference, and he's not the biggest guy. But I really like Jacob Rodriguez. I'm more in on him than CJ Allen. I'm going Jacob Rodriguez at Texas Tech.
I think
Should
I
have won
lean
the
the other way.
Heisman. That's how I'm feeling now that I've now he's a Patriot.
I think
Thinking in
I
the other way.
slightly lean the other way. Yeah,
I don't hate that.
it's
It's
close
splitting
though.
hairs. Yeah.
It's close. So I'm in between two things, and I'm gonna have to put you on the spot again. Help me with this 50-50. Uh, Replacing Tariq Woolen, even though I think Josh Jobe has been solid for them, I think they need another boundary guy. Jobe is a better slot guy. I would know. So I was kind of between Colton Hood here and maybe even them going interior defensive line
Okay. I
with Peter
this
Woods.
I think
Or no, sorry, not. I was actually thinking more so edge and going Lawrence.
okay, Lawrence would be really good there
Malachi
because they
Lawrence or
obviously
Colton
lost
Hood. Those are the two I
they
thought it'd
lost
be.
Boye Mafe. If I did a big board, I think Hood would be higher. Uh, I was gonna say Hood to me is like Makai Lemon, where he doesn't work everywhere. He's not a man coverage corner. The thing is, though, obviously every team runs man coverage, and he can run man. I'm just saying that's not his strength. He's not very fast. He when we say Tariq Woolen replacement, this is like the farthest thing from it, right? He's
More
not that
so
level of athlete.
positional than
But
anything.
yes, but I think they play a lot of zone, and he might be the best zone corner in this draft. So like I really do like that here. I feel like that's a great like fit, but also do you want to take a corner or do you want to take an edge? Like what's more valuable? What do they need more? Kylor or Malachi
Probably
Lawrence, if he
need
if he
to
hits,
get to
man,
the
my
corner,
gosh.
or probably need to get to the quarterback more.
Yeah. And they do have
But
Job. I
man,
think
it's really
Job is a
tough.
better replacement than whoever was behind Boye Mafe.
Screw it.
So
Let's go
yeah, I'm in the
Malachi
same boat
Lawrence
as you.
and close this out.
I'm glad yeah.
Shooting for the
I'm kinda
stars.
glad we
Go
got him and
edge.
Zion Young in the first. Kind of glad we got him and those two in the first. I think they deserve some more love than they're getting. Or we can also go Cassius Howler, but I like Malachi Lawrence.
Cassius Howell is good. I think he would be the safer one, but give me Malachi Lawrence. Pick 32. I feel like if you're picking 30, 31, or 32, I don't know why, but they always just feel like you could be even more risky with the shot you take. I don't know if that's just a me thing or if other NFL fans feel that way, but it just feels like you're less. It's
I
less
agree.
less frowned upon to shoot for the stars. Try to land on
Yeah,
the
you just want
moon.
to bowl. You can do no wrong. You just want to Super Bowl. I agree.
All right, so that's gonna
If you're 31,
conclude.
at least you made it.
You said what?
I said at least if you go to 31, like at least you made it. Like like yeah, you could definitely take some shots.
Let's close it up. Give me the last 10 before I outro.
I'm just gonna run all from the very beginning, just get it all done in one swoop. So 1, Fernando Mendoza. 2, Arlo Reese to the Jets. 3, Giants trade up, take Jeremiah Love, jump the Titans. 4, Titans want offense, want to help their quarterback, Carnell Tate. 5, Francis Mauigoa. This feels like maybe not here per se. Maybe they go down lower, but this feels like the player that's going to the Cardinals. They need a tackle. 6, Browns take David Bailey, elite pass rusher. Potential Myles Garrett trade. Who knows? I like that idea floating around. Get him out of Cleveland. 7, Sonny Styles, elite linebacker, help that defense. 8, Ruben Bain. Could be another trade down spot potentially, but we have the Saints taking Ruben Bain, best player available. We both like Ruben Bain a lot. At least the second edge in our eyes, maybe the first, but I think I still take Arvell Reese. Uh, Giants take Jordan Tyson, get the young quarterback some help. Really offensive heavy, but they need it. They need everything. Number 11, Mansour Delane. My cornerback 1, your cornerback 2 to the Dolphins. Your cornerback 1 and my cornerback 2 to the Cowboys with Jamar McCoy at 12. Kenyon Sadiq going to be a power slot for the Rams at 13. 14, Caleb Lumu. We're going to have him play guard for the Ravens instead of tackle out of Utah. Ione, guard out of Penn State to the Bucks. They need interior offensive lineman. Keldrick Falk, edge from Auburn to the Jets at 16. They need everything. Number 17, Maxi Einachor, offensive tackle at Arizona State. A little bit of a project. My favorite tackle in this class. I think he's going to be great. 18, Dylan Thieneman, one of a top 5 player in this draft to me. At 18 to the Vikings to replace Harrison Smith. Spencer Fano, tackle out of Utah to the Panthers. Might have him play guard for the Panthers. Just see if they got their franchise quarterback. Help them. We'll keep asking that question until they give him an extension. Number 20, Cowboys, Akeem Messidor. Double dipping on defense. Double dipping on great players, in my opinion. I think Akeem Messidor, older, but he's established. 3-down lineman. They need that. 21, Malachi Lemon, slot for the Steelers. Yes, they invested a lot in their wide receiver core the last 2 years. They're going to need elite talent somewhere to help either Aaron Rodgers or to help Ohio State quarterback. I'm forgetting his name right now. Do you remember who his name is from last year?
For who? Sorry.
The Ohio State quarterback that they have waiting in the wings from
Ohio
last
State.
year.
Will Howard.
Their backup. Will Howard. There we go. If he's not elite, he needs something elite around him. Elite wide receiver core can make a quarterback look good. That's why we went Malachi Lemon at 21 to the Steelers. Omar Cooper Jr. to the Chargers at 22. A lot of people probably have him taken interior or offensive line or defensive line because that's what they've done every year. But at some point, you got to get this man some playmakers, and we both think Omar Cooper Jr. is like, he's great. I think he's going to be great. We're both in on him. 23, Blake Miller, the Lane Johnson replacement, potential guard this year for them for Clemson. Offensive tackle to Clemson. I think we're both really like him. We would both love him on our teams. He's an established good player. There's
Agreed.
no he doesn't have a super high ceiling, but he doesn't have a low floor either. He's just a good player. And maybe get him in the Eagles system. He can have a super high ceiling. We've seen what you guys develop.
Yeah,
Number
but that
24,
could be in the
Monroe
past.
Freeland. That could be in the past, but the infrastructure's still there. You might still be hanging around the building a little bit, but 24 Browns take Monroe Freeland. This to me is like the second. I'm so confident that Monroe Freeland is a Brown. They might take him at 6. I think this guy is for sure a Brown Lockett. 25 Caden McDonald to the Bears. They need everything on defense. We gave him the best D tackle available. 26 the Bills Zion Young. He might not go in the first round, but I think me and you both really like him. He's a really good player, very powerful, very good in the run game. Number 27, Caden Proctor to the Niners. Their Trent Williams replacement. In the future, he's developmental. He needs a lot of help, but I can't think of a better situation for him to go to than the Niners. Number 28, we have the Cardinals trading up with the Texans to take Ty Simpson. I do think Ty Simpson is going to be a Cardinal. I think Jacoby Brissett is holding out right now. I don't know who's going to be their quarterback per se, but he feels like a Cardinal in my mind when I think of Ty Simpson.
Perfect fit.
29, he's the perfect fit. 29, Kansas City Chiefs take TJ Parker, edge of Clemson. 3-down guy, can set the edge, really good in the run game, got pass rushing juice. They need that. They need defense. They've been like the 28th in the NFL last 2 years. They get into the quarterback or something. They were first the previous 3 years to that. They need to get out. They need to get back to what they made them great. Number 30, Miami Dolphins take Denzel Boston. This would suck. I like Boston a lot. player, not the place. Well, the place ought to be it. You know what I mean? But they need everything. They need everything. 31. I have the Patriots taking Jacob Rodriguez. Could be a little bit of reach. CJ Allen was on the board, but I think we go if offensive line's gone like it is at this point, and I think it will be. I think we go linebacker. We really need help there. It's a huge glaring weakness. And then 31, we have the Seahawks taking someone who's a little bit developmental but can have elite traits, and Malachi Lawrence at a UCF edge. That wraps up our first round mock.
Yeah. Thank you for bearing with us through a live mock. There was definitely some moments of I have no clue what to do here, and that's why we won't be in the war rooms on Thursday. But that said, I had a great time doing it. We love doing mock drafts every year, so it's gonna be great to record one, put out our first one. I mean, I had a good time. Next year we'll clean it up a bit more. We'll be even more prepared. We'll be even better at just knowing what these teams need, and maybe being a bit more tapped into other teams besides our own, because I think we both can definitely agree here. We spent most of our time going, who are the, well, for me, Eagles, for you, Pats, gonna pick.
Yeah,
That
definitely
said,
what I was thinking about.
wings versus rings on everything. Thank you for listening.